we got to get into all of the ICE stuff. You know, this is kind of overwhelming because so much stuff happens over one weekend with all of this Minnesota ICE stuff. So we've got clips today from where I live in St. Cloud. We've got clips from Minneapolis. We've got more information on Renee Good. We have so many. I mean, we have updates from Kristi Noem, Ilhan Omar, Jacob Fry. I mean, so many things happened over the weekend. Now, first of all, with the videos that came out that showed what this Renee Good was doing during these protests, I don't think there's any debate that she put herself in a position to be shot by federal authorities. Now, there also is a rumor that the officer involved has been disciplined. You know, I guess, look, there's enough question of whether or not, hey, was he hit hard enough for him to take the shot? It's like, if we get to a point where we're picking these shootings apart to such a level, it's going to bog down the entire conversation, and it's probably going to lead to cops getting seriously injured by people intending to hurt them because they're worried, you know, is this a good shot or a bad shot? I think it's a lot easier to tell people, hey, don't park your car in the middle of the street and obstruct traffic. There's a video of her fucking dancing to her car horn. She's being very arrogant about the fact that she's blocking ICE's path. She's being really fucking superior about it. And reading tweets from Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, from all these lefties going, oh, she was just innocent. At one point, the narrative was she's picking her kids up from school or dropping her kids off at school or whatever. And they're just saying stuff that's so untrue. She was only there for 30 seconds. She was turning around. Well, now they have video that shows that she parked there, she stopped there, she's taunting ICE, she's fucking dancing to her car horn. And by the way, it's another case, just like they do with all these police shootings, where the media, boy, did they select a nice cherry-picked photo of her, didn't they? You know, that photo where she's dressed in red with the shoulders bare and her hair's flowing and she's kind of like almost in a Little Mermaid glamour shot. It's not what she looked like at all. She looked like a butch with her head shaved, and she looked insane. She was crazy. She's got TikToks where she's celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I mean, she's textbook, essentially. And so all of these narratives start falling apart. And the protests have now changed from Renee Good because they've realized this woman was a fucking nut. She was arrogant. She was shitty. She tried to fucking sideswipe that officer 100%. And she did. She hit him in the hip. She got him. I mean, cars are heavy. They don't have to be moving that fast to hurt you. She's dancing to her car horn. Her lesbian wife is getting out of the car, taunting ICE and filming them and everything else. I mean, this woman is so unlikable, and she is such a terrible victim. I mean, it's every time these people want to have a big protest about what the cops did, they end up, to quote American History X, having hands across America for a total piece of shit. I mean, whether it's Michael Brown, whether it's George Floyd, whether it's this Renee Good, I'm glad that it's a white person this time. It's not just black or white. It's just you guys pick really shitty victims who turn out to be really bad people who did a lot of things to make sure they ended up the way they did. And so the protests over the weekend stopped being about Renee Good. You think any of these Somalis in St. Cloud that were storming the police, you think any of them give a flying fuck about Renee Good? They don't care. So it stopped being about Renee Good, and it went back to the old, nobody's illegal. Well, I'm sorry, we're not 9. People are illegal. We should be vetting who comes into our country. And if you are fraudulent on your documents or you overstay your visa, I think that should be enough to kick you the fuck out. But the Trump administration is being a lot more liberal than I am. In fact, the Trump administration is being a lot more liberal than what we voted for. What we voted for is, by the letter of the law, are you here illegally? Get the fuck out. What the Trump administration is doing is saying, well, our billionaire friends really want to keep their meatpacking plants and they want to keep their big corporate farms. So we're going to let that go. We're going to look the other way. If you have committed a crime and you're not a citizen, you're out. That's what they're going with. And I don't know. I think you could go further than that. If you're on an expired visa, if you have fraudulent immigration papers, bye, you're out of here. So these protesters keep acting like ICE is just randomly going to houses and grabbing people out. Guys, they have the documents. They have the files on these people. There's a reason they're in Minnesota. When they look for fraudulent documents, overstayed visas, a lot of red flags pop up in Minnesota. So they come here and they extract the people that are here illegally and they start the process of deportation. They detain them and then they go to work on an immigration judge to get the orders of deportation. They follow the law. But after this Renee Good was found to be an absolute provocative piece of shit, they then switched the protest to nobody's illegal, ICE is the Gestapo, get the Nazis out of our town. And by the way, none of this shit would be happening if Minnesota would just fucking cooperate with immigration. I mean, ideally what ICE would like to see is local authorities handle this and then call ICE and say, we got a couple for you, come get them. But instead you have sanctuary cities, and Minnesota's basically a sanctuary state, where they'll catch these people, they'll get flagged on an immigration deal, and they'll just ignore it and prosecute them for whatever crime they did here. Lenient, by the way, very lenient. So the Renee Good footage comes out, and I'm getting ahead of myself here. Hit like, hit follow, hit subscribe. The Renee Good footage comes out, and again, everybody jumped to conclusions. You know, I was getting called kind of middle of the road on Wednesday because my attitude was, look, it looks like she fucked around and she found out. It looked like she did something that could get you shot by the police, undoubtedly. I mean, taking off in a mobile weapon, which is what they consider a vehicle. You can hurt someone, they have to neutralize you, especially if you speed off with a cop right in front of your windshield. And with her luck, it was a cop who had been dragged by somebody months before and spent nights in the hospital. So this Renee Good, they released more footage of this. And, you know, the reason that I was so touchy on this at first was because I didn't know. And I didn't want to have to say something and overcommit and have to walk it back. Because I will. I think it's important to be honest when you have an audience. The video came out. This woman was absolutely instigating ICE. She was blocking traffic. That cop was right in front of her. She made eye contact. She saw him, and she sped off in his direction and went to peel out. She even spun her wheels. She got what she had coming. So this is 3.5 minutes leading up to the shooting. Wonderful place, right? So there she goes. There's Renee Good. I believe. I could be wrong. That could be somebody else, but I think that's Renee Good. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That's so fucking obnoxious. I'm so sorry. So while we're watching this, oh no, there she is. There's the Honda. Okay, so picking a kid up from school, going to see your kid, bullshit. Parked sideways in the goddamn road purposely to impede ICE. At this point, the best you can hope for is to be detained and charged. Blocking a federal agent in their duty is a crime. So in Minnesota, what they're doing now is they're following these heavy-duty trucks and they're honking at them to warn people ICE is coming. A lot of these trucks they're honking at are like guys who own construction businesses, guys who own plumbing and electrical businesses. They're following small business owners around and honking and following them and yelling at them. It's gotten insane. So we're still honking. God damn it. Do less. Like, honestly, accomplish less than what you're doing right now. I want to shoot everybody who's honking the goddamn horn. I got to say, I commend ICE's restraint. This is enough to make you want to shoot somebody. Ironically. So there it is right there, parked in the middle. Where's our dinosaur? Oh, there's our shark, and there's our dinosaur over there. Apparently, this is for like a May Day parade, like in this neighborhood. The dinosaur and the shark are in a May Day parade that they do in that area. And like in the wintertime, they'll put like a Santa hat on the shark. It's actually kind of adorable. I hear there's going to be some houses opening up. So the idea that this woman was trying to turn around or that she was just minding her own business, she was just protesting, yeah, fuck that. She was dancing to the sound of the car horn. She was being an asshole. Renee Good is a remarkably unlikable human being. She sucks. And if she would have stayed put and just taken her medicine for her protest, none of this would have happened. This shooting is 100% on Renee Good. So ICE finally just has it. I mean, apparently the officers have just had it, and they're just like, you got to get the fuck out of here. Like, you're slowing everything down. And I don't know if you've been on a city street in Minneapolis before. They're a nightmare. They're tight. Some of them, one will be a one-way, and then the next block down, it'll be a two-way street, and then the next block down, it's one-way. There's always people coming down a one-way the wrong way, and then cars are parked on each side of the road, and a two-lane road becomes a one-lane road. And I'd rather rip this tooth out of my head with my own bare hands than drive in residential Minneapolis. It's honestly... It's an area tailor-made to cause road rage. So she's letting some people go. You notice this. She's letting some people go and then parking back in the middle of the street when she thinks it's an ICE vehicle. What a cunt. See, look, now she pulls up. She let those other two cars go. Then she pulled forward because she saw this ICE vehicle. Here we go. And then that was the shooting. That was the backup that led to the shooting. So if anyone still wants to debate whether Renee Good was, in the right or in the wrong, or the officer was in the right or in the wrong, I mean, that should pretty much settle it for you. And that's just the beginning. So then everything changed. Like the whole vibe of the protests, all of it just shifted. This weekend. It went from, oh, poor Renee Good, to now it's ICE are Nazis and nobody's illegal, because enough shit came out about the Renee Good thing where they're like, let's learn from George Floyd. Let's not make this our guy. Let's not make this, let's not put all our money on Renee Good. By the way, Waylon, thank you for gifting a membership to Brenda. Oh, that one guy who wanted a membership still can't get one. The poor fella. Jesus. 16 memberships away from 400. Thank you guys very, very much. And then Waylon moving up in the world. Waylon is now at 10 for today. Thank you. All right. So then we have the protests. There were even protests in St. Cloud this weekend. There was a guy, I can't find the picture anymore. Someone on Facebook must have deleted it. But it was a rumor, and I don't know if this is true, that the owner of Bella Cucina, an Italian restaurant in St. Joe, was out there standing outside with little cardboard signs that said he loves ICE or he supports ICE or whatever. And there was a debate in all the St. Cloud community pages about how, will we ever go to this guy's restaurant again? And honestly, it looked like more people were saying, I've never been there before. I can't wait to go. I'm making a reservation now, versus the people who went, oh, this is terrible. I'm never going to go to this guy's restaurant again. In this area, if you take a stand like ICE is okay, fuck Brenda Good, your restaurant will probably do better. I mean, it will be embroiled in more controversy and you'll have to deal with more bullshit. But for the most part, you'll probably do better. This was then also our friend Natalie Copeland. Do you remember Natalie Copeland? formerly Natalie Ringsmith, but her ex-husband was smart and got the fuck out of Dodge from that crazy broad. She's now apparently on the Sartell school board, and she's fucking things up there. That town was supposed to be an escape from people who had it with St. Cloud. I am here to report the lefties are taking over Sartell because they're kind of living cushy lives, and they're kind of detached from reality. If you want a based town in this area that isn't St. Cloud, go to Sauk Rapids. Sauk Rapids is your based town. Sartell sucks. St. Joe's cool. I love St. Joe, but like ideologically it's iffy because you have the two universities there. I don't know. But Sartell is a shithole full of stupid people. Like I feel like the smart progressives are in St. Joe. The dumb ones are in Sartell. So Natalie Copeland, perfect name for her, by the way. Hey, guys, leave me. Oh, thank you, Mitchell. Mitchell just sent me a message with that guy's sign. I appreciate that. I was about to say fuck off and leave me alone, but a listener sent it to me right in the nick of time. Natalie Copeland, who ran Unite Cloud, who tried to put our show out of business numerous times, would not stop. I mean, we got the best of them so often, and then Unite Cloud failed. We're still on the air. We're still going. They're all gone. That made me so happy. In fact, that was my return to radio when Ox had me on 2 years ago to celebrate the death of Unite Cloud, and we did a couple segments together. It was a lot of fun, which, by the way, I think Ox should have me guest host for him when he's out. I love the Ox. I love Dan Oxner. I think I should guest host. We'll pull in some numbers for him. So Natalie Copeland, who's on the school board in Sartell, wrote this unhinged rant on social media, and it got shared all over. Fuck you, ICE. First of all, you can always tell when someone is too emotional or irrational to actually have a discussion on anything, is when they start it with some, and this is mostly white women. This is a white woman trick where they feel like they have to make a splash because they're not men, so they have to go, I'm not the bitch to fuck with. So they go, fuck you, ICE. First of all, nobody sees that and goes, wow, this is a bad bitch. I should really step lightly. They see fuck you, ICE, and they go, oh, here's someone who's lacking in intellect and doesn't have a cogent point to make. This is just going to be a tantrum. Fuck you, ICE, for putting my child on high alert at high school. She has a forensic test today, but how can her brain think in fight, flight, or freeze mode? I don't know. Maybe if she had stronger parents who didn't teach her to be weak, she could just go to school, ignore the bullshit in the rest of the world. Maybe if she didn't have a mom that shook like a chihuahua every time Trump wins a state in the Electoral College, maybe she might be able to operate. I feel bad for her children. I really do. Because they had no shot. I hope they spend a decent amount of time with their dad. I'm rooting for those kids. But when you've got a mom who fucking makes all of this shit about her and looks for drama at every turn and then uses her fucking children as a way to make her political point, make an argument, okay? Make a point, debate, stand on your merit. Don't sit there and go, my kids in high school, I've been scaring the shit out of them about ICE and Trump forever. They get lectures at home from this chick. Oh my God. Oh, it's just so terrible. It's awful. And then their kid goes to school shaking like a chihuahua with fireworks going off because mom's scaring the fucking piss out of them. And then it becomes this self-fulfilling coping loop that she has where she goes, look, now my kid's scared at school. Look what you've done, ICE. It's the stick in the spokes meme. Natalie sits there and goes, fucking Trump is evil, kids. Trump is terrible. Sticks the spoke in her own bike wheel, falls over, and then goes, God damn you, ICE. It's you, stupid. It's always been you. Instead of laughing with her friends at lunch, she is making plans with them for everyone to start their car alarms if ICE shows up. Fucking great. Because they've all got psycho moms. They've all got psycho parents who fill their head with bullshit. Fuck you, Donald Trump, and a special fuck you to every single person who voted for him. Well, look, I would say fuck Donald Trump too, but it's more for like the constant Israel pandering and war starting. But God damn it. She can go away. Like, she's honestly, I don't think there's ever been anyone more useless than Natalie Copeland. So that's what's going on here locally. Luckily, the people in that community, the majority of them think she's fucking obnoxious. A lot of people don't communicate with her simply because they're like, it's just going to be a bullshit hassle. She's just too stupid to talk to. And so they just kind of leave her be in her cave, if in her loveless cave, if you will. But like, imagine scaring the shit out of your kids about the entire world because you felt like the world's being unfair to you. And now you've passed that on to your children, and now they're scared all the time. Not because of Trump, not because of the world, because of you. It's mommy dearest. It's Carrie. It's unfortunate. But don't worry, the car alarms are going to go off if ICE gets there. Yay. Atomic Ray with $1 says, how much did that ICE agent save taxpayers in Minnesota? Oh, also, there's a lot of these protesters are being paid. That's why the narrative keeps shifting. Because they're paying these protesters. One of them even said on camera, I'm getting paid $20 an hour to be here. King Kong Dong with $1 says, I took Corey to Bella Cucino there. The people had the WAP wet-ass pizza. $2 from Contagious Cody says, let's not forget that Renee's car had Missouri plates. Joey Caravello with another $2 says, Natalie Copeland let Boogie shit in her mouth. That's not true, Joey Caravello. It's not even remotely true. Why would you say something like that? This is a rumor that you've started. Red Fox Mad with $5 says, I still don't understand how she got elected to the Sartell School Board. She does not fit in at the Sartell School Board and school. It's because Sartell is going left. I'm telling you. Sartell is going left. Listen to what I say, or you will pay. Oh boy, 751 of you checking out the toe right now. Let's keep that number going up. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. I appreciate you so much. And keep throwing. Oh my God, Wally World gifting 5 memberships. Thank you.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
I appreciate that, my friend. And that puts us 10 memberships away from 400. Wow. I might have to do an extra half hour today. Remember, every time we hit a $100 thing, your generosity puts us 100 members up. I give an extra half hour. It's only fair. It's only fair. So now Wally World is in second at 25. Thank you. Red Fox Mad dropping to third at 21. Coltrane in fourth. Thank you, guys. And Waylon is now in central booking at 10. Thank you, pal. Thank you. And now I got to write down Joey C. Oh, no. And now I got a pen going out, and we're on a roll, and everyone's trying to watch the toe, and I'm screwing up. Atomic Ray gifting a membership. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, enough with the gay jokes. Atomic Ray gifting a membership. Appreciate that. Now where are we at? God damn me. I'm having problems keeping up here today. Thank you, Atomic Ray, for gifting that membership. Contagious Cody got that one. All right, now let's talk about some of the official responses that we've gotten this weekend. You know, Tim Walz, Jacob Fry, I would say I'm really disappointed in them, but living here in Minnesota, I'm used to them. I mean, I think in order to be disappointed by somebody, you have to have a certain expectation of them. I just don't have that for Tim Walz and Jacob Fry. And let me tell you something. For those of you who get outraged at those two guys, having low expectations for these guys really helps you live a happier life, because you don't hear them say dumb shit and go, you guys, why are you being so stupid? Well, because they're Jacob Fry and Tim Walz. It's their brand, if you will. They're dumb. They're dumb guys. They're going to say dumb stuff. Well, Jacob Fry gets to have his face. He gets to see himself on the TV now because he's in the middle of all this shit. And I'm telling you, there's something about this part of it that a guy like Jacob Fry likes. Like, there's a lot of Marxist in him where when shit's falling apart, he's kind of happy. He's on TV. He gets the cameras. He got to go, get the fuck out of Minneapolis, ICE. Whoa! Don't mess with this guy. He's got curly hair. So then he goes on TV And we have a chance to tell the people in Minnesota, like, hey, guys, chill out. We'll deal with this on an official level. Like, if I were governor or I were mayor, I would say, let's say I was against ICE being in the city. We appreciate all of your passion. We really do. We are working on this. I am meeting with the police department, the governor. I'm also going to meet with the ranking officer in ICE here in Minnesota, and we're going to find a way to make this all work out where this isn't so disruptive and we can kind of cool things down. Jacob Fry and Tim Walz get out there and they go, hit the streets, everybody. Don't go on the freeway, but walk the streets. Go in there, carry signs, yell, scream, honk your horns, disrupt ICE as much as you can. And then Jacob Fry going, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. I mean, all these guys are doing is they instigate the problem and then do nothing to address it or fix it. These people are governing for a 5% minority and causing nothing but problems for the 95, I would say 99% of Minneapolis that has to commute, go to work, run their businesses. I mean, they are, and Tim Walz wonders why he doesn't have the faith and confidence of the state of Minnesota. I mean, Jacob Fry is mayor of Minneapolis because they literally ran a retarded guy against him. Omar Feta, I mean, that guy wasn't playing with a full deck. Jesus Christ, the Star Tribune wanted to write an article about his candidacy and like stump for his campaign, and he just straight didn't show up for the interview. He was an idiot. He was a dumb guy. So this is Jacob Fry on national media yesterday, and you know little Trudeau is loving this, and he can't get enough of it. But God, he is such a non-leader.
In the immediacy following the shooting, you heard people from the Trump administration saying that the victim was a domestic terrorist.
Now, I will agree with them there. I'm sorry for pausing if you're new to the show. I'm working on it. I agree with him there. It's a reach to call her a domestic terrorist. It's actually really disrespectful to Ted Kaczynski. That was a domestic terrorist. Well, who was MK Ultra, and like it was our government who kind of set that up. Same as Timothy McVeigh. He was honeypotted into the Oklahoma City bombing so they could crack down on quote unquote white supremacy in the United States. But anyway, same reason why Randy Weaver's family had to die and why women and children had to be firebombed at Waco. Anyway, Jacob Fry saying the administration called her a domestic terrorist. That was too far. She doesn't measure up to domestic terrorist. What she was a fucking idiot who got in the way, didn't take shit seriously, didn't listen to commands, and got killed for her trouble, to paraphrase Ben Shapiro.
Heard that the ICE agent was acting entirely in self-defense. And here's the thing. You don't need to take my word for it. You don't need to take their word for it.
Easy, asshole. We just watched the 3.5-minute video. She was obstructing the whole time. They told her to get out of the car. She took off. I'm sorry, Jacob, but let's put you in front of a moving SUV and you don't feel like you're being attacked. Let's put you in front of an SUV where you can see the woman's eyes. She's laughing at you. She hits the gas. Her tires spin. You're in front of the vehicle. Let's see if you feel attacked or not.
Watch the video.
I have.
The ICE agent was not run over, as Trump stated.
Because he fucking moved. He was going to be run over by the car. He was hit by the car. We can agree. Where I come from, you hit an officer with your car, you could get shot. Death could be the penalty for hitting it off. She did. She hit his hip with her car. Oh, she didn't run him over. Well, yeah, because he's not a dummy. He's going to get out of the way. But you also can't let someone who's obstructing and willing to hit police officers with their car, you can't let them speed off into the city and turn their vehicle into a weapon. What, are we just supposed to take it on faith that this person who has already broken multiple laws is just going to be a good boy or girl when they peel out into the street on icy roads? You out of your fucking mind?
You had...
I love this one too, and I'm really sorry. Oh, they should have shot the tires. Yeah, and then when they hit the pavement and the bullet ricochets and hits a protester in the neck, let's see the protest we're going to get for that shit. No, you don't shoot at the fucking tires. What are we, 4? I would have blocked it and then went, shut up.
A person that was definitively trying to just get out of there. They were trying to leave the scene.
Again,
that is not a person that's
video.
trying to run an ICE agent over. You have a person that is trying to protect our city, to look out for our neighbors. And by the way, There are 435,000 people throughout Minneapolis that are looking out for their neighbors right now because they understand the magnitude of this moment.
No, there are 425,000 Minnesotans who just want to go to work, who just want to have peace in their streets. And then there are 10 to 20,000 Minnesotans who can't stop being cunts. Stop acting like this is every person in Minneapolis. This is rabble-rousers, a lot of them paid to be there to cause problems.
And they understand that the endurance of our republic depends on us looking out for each other. And we're standing strong here in Minneapolis.
Here's my take, Jacob. I think a lot of us voted the way we voted in the last election because we're patriots too, and we want there to be rules to come into our country, and we want to look out for the people here. You know, I don't want to quote American History X again because it's not a good look, but I want to, what liberals always say, well, doesn't the Statue of Liberty give us you're tired, you're poor, you're hungry, you're sick? It's Americans who are tired and poor and hungry and sick. So yeah, let's take care of them. Let's cut their credit card rates down to 10%. Let's make it illegal for foreign entities and large corporations to buy single-family homes. Let's work on balancing our budget and strengthening our dollar. Let's get rid of H-1B visas so Americans can get solid, good-paying careers, not just jobs. And then when we've worked out all of that, then we can start bringing in all of your friends that like to vote for you because you give them free shit. By the way, the free shit seems like that's going by the wayside too. Department of Agriculture said they're shutting down SNAP benefits to Minnesota if they suspect fraud, which, you know, it's about goddamn time. You should have been doing that from Jump Street. So we're going to be jumping around to different parts of Minnesota here during this. By the way, thank you for the 750. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. I also want to keep up with your guys' input because you're going crazy in the chat right now, and I appreciate it. $1 from somebody, too, says, okay, if that's the case, as Fry says, it's totally okay for police to run over protesters blocking the route for the police to leave then. I mean, his logic does fall apart. Like, okay, if you're a truck driver and as a truck driver, there are people in your way on the freeway protesting something, you should be allowed to run them over. Right? No? We're not allowed. Okay, just checking. So ICE is not just in Minneapolis. ICE is in Minneapolis. They're in Wilmer. They're in St. Cloud. If there are still protests today in St. Cloud, in fact, I should put something out on like the community Facebook pages here. I'm going to go down there and interview a few people today. I'll live stream it if we do. I'll give you guys a heads up ahead of time. Are there any ICE protests in St. Cloud today? I would like to stream some interviews. I mean, it's right. I mean, how often is the city I live in at the forefront of national events? And would I not be a lazy, dumb cunt if I was a streamer for a living and I didn't go out and get some information for you guys right there on the ground? So yes, I just put out a Facebook post. If anyone wants to let me know where any protests are, I'll head out there today. I should go to the Y and play some basketball, but I feel like I should be on alert to get out there. Hook up my old mic system. I might just use the phone. We'll see. But at any rate, I would like to get out there and interview some of these people and not be like Nick Sorter. I don't want to instigate. I don't want to upset them. I just want to find out why the hell they're there and what they're there for. But yeah, if there are any protests, please go ahead. Meow Meow must be behind in the show. He says, Aaron, I can't take this guy. Don't worry. The Jacob Fry stuff is done. The Jacob Fry stuff is done. I promise you. So they're in Minneapolis. They're in St. Cloud. They're in Wilmer. And they're probably in Mankato as well. They're in kind of all the Somali hotspots are ICE. It did not go well for some police. Now, I think these are ICE agents. They were at a place, if you live in central Minnesota, you probably know the little strip mall they're in here. It's on 33rd Avenue. And I'm very familiar with this place. It's a place basically that time forgot, and like all the local businesses that were in there went under, and it kind of became an abandoned place in an old kind of aging part of town. So what happened was a bunch of Somali refugees bought up all these storefronts or rented out all these storefronts, probably with either fraud money or welfare money. And now they all just hang out. Like that parking lot is full every day. It's these businesses must be doing amazing, right? I mean, it looks like a goddamn swap meet 24/7 at these locations. So ICE figures, hey, we probably got some customers here. We should stop in. We could probably make a hit. And instead, the Somalis in St. Cloud, and some people are celebrating this as like, yeah, way to fight back. I mean, I kind of see this as these are people coming from a foreign country. Some of them not citizens. Some of them may be people that ICE is actually looking for. And they're attacking the United States immigration enforcement apparatus. I don't like the idea of Somalis gathering in numbers and bullying ICE agents out of doing their job. I think this is a bad look for the city of St. Cloud, and I think it's a bad look for the state of Minnesota. But of course, people like Walls and Fry will celebrate this. Let's watch the whole video. You tell me what you think. There you go. Those are just people there taking their kids to daycare. That's, yeah. No, they're just, I mean, obviously they're there to get home health care is all they're doing all fucking day. Look, it's immigration enforcement officers doing their job. I guarantee there are people there with bad documents, overstayed visas, people who aren't either legally allowed in this country or people with criminal warrants who are not here in this, who are not citizens of this country. I guarantee there were people there that ICE had a legitimate reason to be there for. But if you just gather in numbers, you gather in mass, you can push them out. I mean, I don't think this is good for Minnesota. I don't think this is good for our country. You can just come here from a third world shithole and you can start pushing our immigration enforcement officers around. I don't like it, man. And also, they've been gassed up by these blue-haired lefty white women who are fucking toxic to the core. They've been gassed up. They've been taught that they're the good guys, they're victims, and these ICE people are here to take all their kids away, which they're fucking not, unless you're all illegal. And so they feel entitled to go up and gather in numbers, intimidate, and force these ICE agents. And what are the ICE agents going to do? Either they have to deploy. Notice how different ICE treats Somali agitators versus white protesters. And tell me they're not scared of this particular demographic of people. It's white protesters or even black protesters. They're on the sidewalk. They're putting their hands on ICE. Boom. Pepper ball right in the fucking face. No questions asked. Somalis, well, come on, calm down, guys. Let's try to talk about this. We're just here doing our jobs. We got some people we want to find. And how much do you want to bet those people weren't gathering in droves in that parking lot because they knew at least one person who might be someone ICE might be interested in talking to? But they get gassed up by these fucking punk-ass lefties, and all of a sudden we got chaos at the strip malls. We got chaos in the streets. All because we're trying to get people who don't belong here out of our country. It's, to me, frustrating doesn't begin to say it. Frustrating doesn't begin. Dr. Doom says, Toe, you're going to get shot today. I'm not going to get shot today. I'm going to be respectful. Red Fox Mad with $5 says Trump should be federalizing all entitlements, take them away from the states. Well, some of these entitlements are given as block grants to the states. So it is a little different. GFY Rumble says, good. I lived in Mankato years ago, and the Somalis were the worst. $2 from Cheeseburger Pie says, this weekend, something reported a false claim that there were shots fired by ICE in St. Cloud. That happens every time these agitators get involved. They accuse, remember when Unite Cloud during like the not Trayvon Martin, like the Michael Brown shit and all that, might have even been after George Floyd. When they did that thing where they were like, oh yeah, cops shot two poor black kids who were protesting and just trying to make their voices heard. And then we found out the cops actually shot a guy who had, he had punched a cop, he had went for his gun, he had assaulted and beat the cop. And it turns out that the cop didn't shoot the guy at all. The shot was fired from the guy. Correct me if I have this wrong, because it was years ago. The guy tried to get the officer's gun or his taser, and they were able to apprehend the guy without shooting him. So it was actually one of the most heroic cop moments ever, and Unite Cloud pitched it as some kind of racist attack. Like, that's why that Natalie Copeland, fuck her, man. She's the worst. Cheeseburger Pie with $2. Okay, we just did that one. $1 from Grand Poobah says, I work for a local armored car company, and I'm supposed to refill an ATM in that shopping center today. My boss said if it looks sketchy, just skip it. All right. I mean, I understand. I get it. It's also a good boss that you have, that he looks out for you like that. Because there are some bosses who would just be like, no, you got a fucking job to do. Do it. 9 memberships away from 400. Oh, my goodness. Thank you guys so much. 752 is the number today. Oh, boy, we could have ourselves an 800 day. YouTube, Rumble, keep hitting like, keep hitting subscribe, keep hitting follow. I appreciate what you're doing for us today. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the memberships. So here's another guy who decided that he and his friends were going to get nice his way, and they were going to park in front of the ICE agents here in Minneapolis. This one's in Minneapolis. We're going back to Minneapolis now. Like I said, we're going to be jumping back and forth. But this is a guy who was in a Renee Good situation. And the cops are like, get out of the fucking car. You're blocking our way. That's enough. Now, this guy didn't hit the gas, but he also thought that cooperation was optional. Let's take a look. Oops. There goes the window. No, not Edwards. They got Snowden. Oh, they got Snowden. Son of a bitch. I liked that guy. Oh, Edward. You had a good run, buddy. Of course, they're in a Prius. I mean, it makes sense, so much of it. I love Homeboy here standing there with the Bear Mace can like he's ready to go. Give me a reason. Ooh. You hear that? That point, that stay there. That person in that car honking just shit their pants a little bit. That was effective. That was a dad voice. That guy's got kids.
We got everything? This car right here, left road. Car? This car right here, left road. There's a lot of glass everywhere.
I love that everybody gets their phones out and they're filming. They're like, yeah, what are you filming? Oh, I'm filming some guy who was being a cunt and was like blocking the road for ICE officers. And then when they told him to get out, he wouldn't. So they went and got him. Oh, so you're filming this for ICE to show that they did nothing wrong. That's good. Thank you. Again, if ICE was going around breaking people's windows and ripping people out for no reason, I would be like, these guys are awful. These are Nazis. Let's fucking, let's do something about this. But it's literally them responding to cunts who are blocking the road. Like, if this was the police in a normal traffic stop, they'd be doing the same thing if you were not cooperating and committing traffic violations.
Park it, and we're out.
Look at that. Nicely just getting. There we go. Just nicely get the fuck out.
You have no fucking right to be here. Get out of our state.
Sir, stay over there, please.
Fucking murderous,
Sir,
traitorous
I'm telling you, you're not gonna like the
bitches.
outcome.
Get the fuck out. Get out.
We will never stop following.
Get the fuck out.
You know, we all sound so reasonable. Like, honestly, guys, they are, I don't know what you've built them up as in your brain. They are literally here. They have all the files. They have all the documents on people. They know who they're looking for. Get the fuck out of the way. Let them do their job and they'll be gone. They might even be gone by now. They know who they're looking for.
Put up with us before you decide to break the law.
Thank you, guys.
We will never.
Some of the people they've arrested include murderers and rapists. They're cleaning garbage off of the street, garbage that your own police refused to report to ICE. These are people who could have been gone on their first offense, but Minnesota's a sanctuary state and we don't report it to ICE. Please tell me how your government, how Tim Walz and Jacob Fry are looking out for you. They arrest these scumbags and they don't kick them the fuck out of the country. They give them lenient sentences or they let them out on no bail and they're back out on the street. And then ICE comes to get rid of these people because red flags pop up. They go, hey, this illegal fucker committed a murder. Hey, this illegal fucker committed a rape. Like, these are big bad eggs. Let's go get them. It would be nice if they could. I mean, do you know how quiet the process is when the city cooperates with ICE? They go, hey, ICE, we just arrested a guy and we ran his stuff. And turns out he's here illegally and he's got forged documents or he's got an overstayed visa. Would you guys like to come pick him up? And ICE will go, absolutely. We'll send someone out. They make an exchange. It's done. But when you have cities like New York and Minneapolis and these others where they arrest these people, let them back out on the street, then ICE goes, you're not going to tell us where we can get these guys? They're like, no, fuck you. All right, we're coming to your city and we're going to come in mass because you guys are hostile towards us. I mean, act like we didn't kind of bring this on ourselves.
Out of our fucking state.
We will never stop following you.
I love this guy. He's like, all right. I like him.
Fuck you.
Bear Mace guy rules.
Get a real job.
What is he? Somebody in my chat? Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Get a real job. No. I have to beg for money in 2 hours. What do you mean get a real job? Hey, I feel attacked personally. Shame on you.
Back up.
I like Bear Mace guy. He's all right. You broke my Lincoln Park Meteora CD, sir. Patty O'Keefe. I'm sure that's a real name. I'm sure that's... Oh, yeah, my friend Patio Furniture was here protesting. Yeah. Drew says, here's a like, but I disagree with your commentary. Hey, man, that's totally fine. Thank you for the like. That's actually very generous of you. Even though you don't agree with what I'm saying. And I am being, like, pretty fascistic today. I'm going to admit, because I've fucking had it. I've lived in this state too long. I understand. If you don't live here, I can understand where you think, oh, my God, Aaron's gone crazy. And he's turned into a full-blown Nazi fascist. I get it. I do. I sound that way. But it's, dude, our state never learns any fucking lessons. It's the same paid agitators all the time. Our leaders here stoke the flames and encourage it. So I'm down with anybody who's trying to do the opposite. So I get it, Drew. And thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. And I am aware of how much of a goddamn fascist I'm coming off as, but honest to God, it's fucking insanity out there. Drew says, covered faces, unmarked vehicles, and swapping license plates. What could go wrong? The problem is these guys are covering their faces because if they show out, well, number one, it's cold out. But number two, if they show up without the face coverings on, people have been doxing them, doxing their families, doxing their addresses. And I mean, ICE agents have been shot and killed over this shit. So, I mean, look, it looks, I understand the optics are not good, but I understand why they're doing it. Rostog's Broken Spirit could use a membership. Where'd that line? Oh, there was one line I wanted to get. Ablo Pacheco says, not the Meteora CD. No. And Silverwolf says, what kind of gay F word remembers the name of a Linkin Park CD? Bro, I think that CD came out when I was like in 6th or 7th grade. I mean, the Meteora CD was huge. What year did Meteora come out? 2000. Oh, that's not, no, Hybrid. Oh, shit. Hybrid Theory was the one I was thinking of. I was a sophomore in high school when Meteora came out. I'm sorry. I was, here, when did Hybrid Theory come out? October 24th, 2000. Yeah. I was in 8th grade when Linkin Park's debut album came out. In fact, I had a friend. She was, she had boobs, so I really liked her. And for the women in the audience, you never have guy friends. They're just guys who are trying to fuck you. So she thought we were like really good friends. I just thought she was really cute. And we got really close, and she was like, I just hate your music so much. And I'm like, I hate yours too. So she's like, let's swap CDs. Like, this is some 2000 shit right here. She goes, let's swap CDs and let's see if we can like each other's music. So this is going to be bad, you guys. This is going to be really douchey. She gave me the Hybrid Theory CD and an Incubus CD. Blah. I gave her the Tupac All Eyes on Me album. That was my shit back then. That's what I liked. The double album All Eyes on Me. I didn't even listen to the Incubus one. I fucking hated Incubus. I still do. God, they're so gay. People who like that and Death Cab for Cutie and fucking what was that other crybaby band? Oh God, what were they? Son of a bitch. That's not their name. The Crybaby White Boys. Oh shit. Not the Fray. It's like the Fray, but it's not the Fray. What was that? Simple Plan, yes, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. Oh, God damn it. You guys are going to get this. Good Charlotte, yes, but that's not who I'm thinking of. Panic at the Disco. You guys are naming all lame-ass fucking white bands, and you're right, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. Fall Out Boy, that's the one. Fall Out Boy. Just sad white guy shit. Like Chris Rock said it perfect in The Longest Yard. What are you so depressed about? You're white. Smile. A little dignity. She ended up being a lesbian. Sorry, I fast forwarded to the end of that story. I used to go to the house that she would babysit at summer after 8th grade. We would hang out. And then after high school, she became a lesbian. I'd like to think I had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. All right. Jen Carlisle says, I just found you. Kind of like you. I've got, Jen, thank you. Hit follow, become a member, all that shit. I appreciate you. But here, I have plenty of time to alienate you and make you hate my guts. How's that sound? We'll see what we can do. Joey Caravello says, Aaron, turn her back normal again. I'm not available. Dinkelman says, you turned her gay. Wow. Yeah, but she caught the lesbian super liberal disease. So she went short haired, got fat, the whole deal. She went all the way lesbian. She went not the lesbian you guys think about doesn't exist. He's like, oh, this girl who's fucking smoking hot with giant tits and a great ass. And she just loves eating pussy, but I could also turn her that doesn't exist. They like to do flooring. They could probably hang sheetrock better than you could. It's not someone in the chat going softball lesbian. That's all there is. It's all look at Renee Good. When she turned gay, it just went off with the hair, get fat. You guys, I'm sorry, but this lesbian you're talking about only exists in your dreams. You know, like in the movie King Arthur, where Clive Owen thinks that Rome is this amazing free place, but then the bishop's son, or that governor's son tells him that the Rome you believe in only exists in your dreams. That's you guys and lesbians. I'm sorry. Yes, or as Roots Calhoun more succinctly puts it, rugby dykes. Thank you. Yes. Drew says the movie with Clint Eastwood called The Mule shows how our government works with the cartels and brings the drugs, weapons, and humans across the border. Our government set up the cartels to then declare war. Well, yeah, I mean, we need to justify our military budget. Not only that, trust me, while they're distracting us with this ICE protest Somali daycare stuff here in Minnesota, they're going to pull a dirty move in Iran or another one in Venezuela again. Trust me, they're setting up for something. Chad Buzmak says, so wait, you were into a butch dyke? It's all adding up. Another story we can add to the lore, huh? Another story we can add to the lore. There was one girl that I was seeing in, I think it was 8th grade again. 8th grade was the first year I really started hanging out regularly with girls. And there was a girl who was really, really cute. She was a lot of fun. And my buddy Andrew had been with her. They were going out, which was basically holding hands in the hallway in school. And then she kind of came over to me afterwards, and I was into her, and something was going to happen there. But then my buddy Andrew, we were in class one day. I'll never forget. We were sitting right next to each other, and he's like, "Dude, she's gross. She's got MTs." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, she's got missile tits, dude. Don't fuck around. And I'm like, oh, missile tit. Like, none of us knew what the fuck we were talking about. We were like 13 or 14 years old. He's like, yeah, she's got MT. She's got missile tits. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, it's fine. I didn't know anything about manipulation and bitter ex-boyfriends. And, my buddy, I shouldn't hang out with my buddy's ex-girlfriend. We were all just learning these things at the time. But him saying she's got missile tits made me go, yeah, dude, I'm staying away from that. I don't know. Middle school was very confusing times. Yeah. You know what? For this audience, telling a sloppy second story, probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. But then my favorite, thinking back to high school, my favorite retarded guy moment would have to be when all of us thought that a guy, like when one of our friends started having sex with his girlfriend, and then people would break up, and we'd be like, oh man, did you hear so-and-so's single again? This girl's single again? And they're like, yeah, but I wouldn't date her. She's been cashed by Jono. He wrecked it. Like this idea that if one guy had sex with this girl a lot, her vagina was just obliterated and it never went. Like, we really in our minds, or at least we talked that way, thought that vaginas were like buttholes and they didn't have elasticity to them and they didn't snap back. Like, if a guy was in there, it's, oh, she's wrecked, she's done. Which I guess if you think back to it now, it's kind of based. Like, we should go for a girl who's more pure and not loose. But the way we thought the physiology of it worked is fucking retarded and funny to think back on. I remember we had a buddy, Jono, and specifically one thing we said at lunch. I remember this conversation. Hey, so-and-so broke up with Jono. Would you like her? Yeah, but she's been cashed by Jono, dude. She's wrecked. It's like, what? It's not. If that were the case, every time you hooked up with somebody in your early 20s, it would just be like curtains flapping in the breeze. It's not how it works. Main Vein with $1 says Aaron was a straight up wigger as a kid. I mean, kind of. I bet you if Roots and I sat down, we'd have a lot more in common taste-wise than a lot of people would think. So yes, it was, look. High school and middle school were very confusing times. All right, we got to get back to these protests, shall we? Thank you guys very much. 773 of you in here checking out the toe. I can't say I appreciate it enough. Let's get to the, we got three more clips from the protest. The next one is everybody's favorite. You love Ilhan Omar, right? Ilhan Omar is the best. We all think that she's just the bee's knees, this Ilhan. She fucking sucks. I hate her so much. She's so disingenuous. And like, there's politicians who believe in the bullshit they spew. And then there's politicians, and they're on the left and the right, where they know that the people they're talking to are easily led and stupid. And they just say shit that you can almost see the smirk on their face while they're saying it. Ilhan Omar, to me, is one of those people. The things she tells people and the things she actually wants to do are two separate things. Here she is at the protests telling people that they should take their state back and they should push back against that. This is, I mean, these are the same people who told the police after George Floyd they need to practice de-escalation. Why don't you guys ever de-escalate? You're always fanning the flames. Let's see if she's practicing what she preaches.
We are going to show all of them the door out. And we are going to make sure that these people pay for what they have done to us.
By the way, we could say the same thing about Somali fraud, but you could literally take this speech so far and you could put it in a Republican representative's hands standing outside the Leering Center, and it could be the same speech so far. And that's sad because it kind of shows how far apart we are.
I am going to leave you with this. I love this community. This community raised me as an immigrant. This community also sent me to Washington, D.C. as a refugee to represent you.
And then you said that you represent Somalia's interest first. Yeah, you're welcome.
I carry that proudly. I am not somebody people describe about the challenges you all are experiencing. I'm someone who has lived it. And what I tell you is this. What we are going through today is going to create a different kind of community for us. We are going to forge a different path forward. We are going to use every single lesson we are learning today to make sure no community gets terrorized like we are being terrorized by Trump and his Goonies ever again.
Goonies? I thought you said Coonies for a second. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Take it easy. Take it easy. I mean, again, like, I'm interested. What is this new world you're building? Is it a new world where immigration laws don't get enforced? Because I'm sorry, you guys tried that for 4 years. We rejected it. We don't want that world. Please tell me what we're supposed to do. Because here's the thing, Ilhan. We're sending agents in. They're going to get illegals out of our country. They're going to expel and they're going to deport illegal immigrants, especially criminal illegals. People who have committed crimes while they're here. Let's figure out how we can do that and not upset the apple cart as much as possible. But you don't want to have that conversation. You're wondering why this is such a tough struggle for you. And it's because your starting point is ICE doesn't do anything. If we say it's a sanctuary city, ICE can't come in here and bust illegals. I'm sorry, that's a non-starter. And you've already lost that debate. So no.
We are committed to this resistance. We are committed in...
By the way, Pat McAfee grew a nice beard.
...building a community. We are committed in confronting our nation as a country of immigrants and making sure that dream stays alive.
She's just not a very motivational speaker. Like, she doesn't instill like a lot of spirit, mostly because she's just saying words. The immigrant spirit is alive in the, all ICE is trying to do is get criminals off the street. That's it. You're arguing a point that's not coming at you.
Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. We all love you. Everybody said people are not going to be out in the streets in Minnesota because it is too cold. Yes, it is too cold, but our hearts are warm enough to keep us in these streets to resist for our neighbors. Thank you.
Again, I have to ask, what are we resisting? They are there to apprehend people who are here illegally. I'm having a tough time with we're here to defend our neighbors. Los Federales with $1 says, I can't stand the ICE protest streamers. Just because you have a camera doesn't make you part of the press. That's like buying running shoes, making me an Olympian. I'm a Latino. Get these spics out, putos. Jesus. That's the thing. Sometimes these immigrants can be more racist than the white people. You know, they can be like, hey, we got to get these fucking beaners out of here, boys. And I'm like, am I being punked? Like, you're trying to get me to say some shit, but you're trying to figure out how Whitey talks when you're not around. I'm not biting. I'm not biting. 9 memberships away from 400. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. Continue to hit like and follow and subscribe and all of that. 750 is where we've peaked out today, right around 750. I appreciate it. Keep it up. You guys like hearing what we have to say on the ICE stuff. We've only got 2 more clips. All of this rabble-rousing and shit, by the way, all it's doing is making sure that more ICE agents come to Minnesota, because Kristi Noem said yesterday, DHS is sending hundreds more ICE agents to Minnesota. I mean, first of all, these protesters aren't crowding ICE because they know that there are no illegals here, and so they should just leave. They know that ICE is probably going to, be detaining a lot of people if they're allowed to do their job here in Minnesota. And again, this is what the majority of the country voted for. But you keep getting in the way. I mean, it's not like ICE agents or the Trump administration is going to have all of these protesters in Minnesota and they're going to go, I didn't know they'd be mad. We should probably back it off. No, he's going to send more and they're going to get this job done no matter how long it takes. So Noem said that we're sending more officers today and tomorrow, which that tomorrow would be today. They'll arrive. There will be hundreds more in order to allow our ICE and Border Patrol individuals that are working in Minneapolis to do so safely. And if anyone gets in their way, there will be consequences. Yeah, so I'm just about done with this. I can feel myself getting a little fatigued with all the ICE stuff. Also, if there are protests in St. Cloud today, I am going to head down there and get some interviews, if you will. Let's go to this one. This is the last one for a reason, because I figured I'd be getting protest fatigued by now in the show, and I am. So I had to play the most insufferable protester that we had. This is a woman who's conflicted. This is a Minnesota protester who's conflicted because she's white. Renee Good is white. She's angry about what ICE did to Renee Good, but she doesn't know if she should say anything because she's white. Ladies and gentlemen, this is when the tapeworm, the parasite, the brain worm that is DEI progressivism, this is what happens when it takes root and just turns your brains into split pea soup. Enjoy final stage progressivism.
So, I mean, I'm just walking around kind of just dayside because I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. It feels kind of wrong being here in some way. I don't know why.
Why do you think, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, where that stems from.
Look at them. They shake. They're just shaking all the time because they're constantly worried they're saying the wrong thing or saying the right thing the wrong way. They're just so nervous. You can tell every word out of this woman's mouth is a laborious process because she's terrified of saying something wrong.
Part of it is being a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege.
Oh my God.
So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this.
Bro, this fucking self-immolation is what this is. This is cultural and racial self-immolation. You as a people cannot stand with this kind of an attitude because black and brown people don't give a shit about your guilt. Black and brown people don't respect your guilt. In fact, if there's one thing black and brown, if people of color, Asians, if there's one thing they respect, it's pride in who you are. It's pride in your culture. If you tell this white lady, hey man, I'm proud to be white, She'd go, you fucking supremacist, you weird. You tell a black person, Latino person, an Asian person, hey, I'm proud to be white. They'd say one of two things. They'd say, I'm proud to be Latino. Yeah, that's good. You should be proud. Or they'd say, just pass the ball, you fucking retard. We're playing basketball. Just shut up. Like, nobody gives a fuck about your guilt, about your skin color. That's pure self-immolation to get attention for yourself so you can get attaboys and pat on the backs from other people who hate themselves because of their skin color, because they listened to the wrong people growing up. She's shaking. She cannot conduct a basic interview because she's worried about how white she is. This is a cancer.
Or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this
Yeah.
for a long time. This isn't new for them, and so I don't know if that makes any sense.
No.
It doesn't. It makes no sense. You sound fucking stupid. And I will say this. You said you don't know if you should be out here as a white woman. Let me help you. Go home. I think it would just be best if you go home. If you're worried about being a white woman, in fact, you should tell all of your other fellow white women, maybe it is time to just go home. This is embarrassing.
That way.
How did you decide that you should be here? Or are you still figuring that out?
I'm a white woman. I need attention.
Well, I work like 2 miles from here, so driving by, I don't, it was like I'm here. I'm 2 miles. I can stop.
So you feel really guilty because all of the black and brown people who have been harmed, and you as a white woman don't know if it's a good idea for you to get involved. But, however, you were close by, so what the hell? Fuck those black and brown people who feel sensitive. Me as a white woman, I was close, so I was drawn in like a magnet. Oh, I knew somebody would tweet about it today. Professor Tie-Dye says, today on Aaron Imholt's show, I learned his taste in music was so bad he drove his high school crush into being a biscuit bumper over letting other men near her. She was so upset about her experience with me. She's like, never another man. They will never be allowed to get that close. How dare you? Jen Carlisle says, dumb shit. I'm a normie. White women have been brainwashed. She is really, I mean, that was embarrassing. That should be embarrassing for